What's going on, guys? John here from The Real Talk, and welcome to my final review in my Star Wars week or marathon, whatever you want to call it. I started from episode 1, and now I'm ending with episode 7. Well, I'm going to be ending tomorrow with episode 8. But yeah, guys, it was a journey, but I liked rewatching these films and reviewing them for you guys. It's definitely interesting going into these films. I guess having a YouTube channel and kind of, wanting to review them and kind of go a little bit more in depth with them. And I definitely did that with this series. Some of it, the videos were a little bit long. And I like that. I like that because I dive into it and I, tell you guys my feelings about them. So, yeah, this series has been really fun. But tonight, guys, in just a few hours, hopefully I get this video up with enough time for you guys before I go watch the movie, The Last Jedi. So yeah, the movie I'm going to be reviewing is Star Wars The Force Awakens, and it's very surreal because I remember when it was announced that Disney bought, Lucasfilms and stuff like that, and they're going to do a new trilogy, and then I remember seeing the new trailer and how awesome that was, and hearing everybody's reactions, and then finally I remember going to the theaters with my friend, and we waited in line. It's just like the first episode. That's the first movie I saw in theaters, the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters. I've seen the original trilogy before, but so it was kind of everything came full circle, and it was just that feeling I got in the theaters when it went from Lucasfilm to a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That little I guess that little time between that and then when it goes then, it was just something I would always remember that day as well. Like going to the theaters and waiting in line. It was cool because someone was watching the original trilogy while we were waiting in line. That's how long we were waiting in line for. We were gonna be there for quite some time. So he had the original trilogy put on. But getting into the film, guys. Enough with the little history. I really like this film. I know that one of its biggest criticisms is that it's too similar to Force Awakens and like that, and I agree to A New Hope, and I agree to a certain extent. I do feel like it hits certain plot points and stuff like that, but overall I feel like it was a Star Wars movie. The prequels, they were Star Wars movies, but for me they just didn't capture that adventure, that sense of adventure, and sort of that just thing that was Star Wars. Like I said, it was Star Wars, but it didn't feel like Star Wars, if that makes sense. But this one, right off the bat, it did feel like Star Wars, and I really like it. I wasn't disappointed with what we got. We were waiting a long time for a sequel to Return of the Jedi, and we finally got it. The continuation of this story, this epic story. So diving into the film, guys. Now that we got that little negative out of the way. I gotta say that these characters are really well done. I really like all these characters from Poe to Rey to Finn, Kylo Ren, even Snoke. I'm really interested to see where these characters go in this next one, because I think they did a very good job, especially obviously with the main characters. With Rey, she's just a total badass. I really like her character, and I really hope they handle her well. I'm just nervous to see what's gonna happen in the next one. There's a lot of, theories and stuff like that. But I really like her character, how she's just, in Jakku. And she's just, we don't really get to see how she became like this. We just know, obviously, from the story and, from when we first see her, that she's in this planet by herself. And she's doing everything by herself. She's going out there, she's a scavenger. And she's trying to get, parts to get food. She's doing it on her own. And even a little bit later when we see her with, I was going to say Jin, what the heck, with Finn, how when he first gets to the little village in Jakku after he crashes, he sees Rey, he's going to go help Rey, and all of a sudden she's just kicking ass, and he's like, oh, okay, well, my bad, I really like that. I really like that about Rey. She's, throughout the movie, I realized this a little bit more this time, that she's just more, she's independent, and that's really cool about her. I really like that about her. And yeah, I don't know who her parents are, but at the same time, I'm kind of asking myself, is it really important? Yeah, it's a little mystery, but if she's just her own character, then that's cool. But I still want to know what was up with her touching the lightsaber and having the little flashback and stuff like that. I have my own personal little theory that I'll go into real quick. I think she has to be related to someone, or just, I don't know, because she's just set up as this character that she hears Yoda, she hears Obi-Wan, she hears Luke and everything like that, and that little flash scene where Maz Kanata's place. And I also feel like she was probably training with Luke for some reason. I feel like that because she already knows the Force. She knows how to. It's like she kind of just got that part of her memory erased or something, and then like she just tapped into it slowly as she started to go on because she knows already. And that's why I feel like she had that vision with Kylo. You know, when he was like killing the other Jedis or something. I'm assuming that's that little scene when he's turning on Luke, and he was gonna kill Rey, but I guess he will stop or something like that. That's why when one of the people working for Kylo, he's like, oh, he was with a girl. He's like, what girl? He kind of knew already, but I don't know. Enough about that. Let's dive into Kylo now that we're on him. Obviously he's the son of Princess Leia and Han Solo. And it's I really like this character because I know a lot of people say he's like whiny and stuff like that, but I mean overall I feel like he's just struggling. Like he's just really, really struggling internally of this like light and dark, and he's kind of like he wants to live up to Darth Vader's legacy and stuff like that. That's why when like things go wrong, he gets really mad and stuff. So I don't find that a problem. Like I don't think that's a problem at all. But I really like that we have this sort of characters kind of really conflicted and this offspring of the characters we come to know and love. And let's go into who's the other character I want to talk about. Han Solo and Princess Leia, or Leia Organa, or General. I think she's like General in this one. But yeah, Han, obviously when we meet him, he says that famous line, Chewie, we're home. It's awesome that he got some character development as well, because if we remember from the original trilogy, he didn't really believe in the Force, and he kind of came full circle even more in this episode, in this film, because he tells Rey and Finn, like, hey, it's all true, everything. Like, I used to think it was a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but it's true, and I feel now that he has a son that's connected to all that, it's even more, and he's kind of like come into like the realization of what he's in, So I really like that about his character. He's still funny, you know what I'm saying? And like this movie was also really funny. But at the same time, I guess there's, I think like two scenes that kind of took me out. Like, okay, that was just put into kind of be a joke. I'm a big fan of like comedy when it's natural, when it doesn't really seem forced. And while the first time I watched this movie, in the beginning when Kylo Ren and he's talking with Poe, and Poe says, oh, okay, like who's gonna talk? Do I talk first? Do you talk first? It was funny the first time I saw it, and I maybe chuckle like here and there, but for some reason I just felt like that you can tell like that was put in for a joke, and I was kind of I think there was like another part too that was put in there. But BB-8 is another great character that we got introduced in this one, and man, he's just really hilarious. I really like BB-8, and kind of I really like that in these movies. There's like Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, and like they don't really talk, but just on the little motions they do, like you can tell that BB-8 was nervous when Finn's like, hey, tell her where the base is, and she's like, Rey's like, okay, well, where is it? He's like, okay, well, like you can kind of, by his little movements, like he was, kind of nervous or something. Like he got just thrown into this mess because of Finn, and that whole little thumbs up thing he did with Finn was freaking hilarious. So this movie was a little bit more on the comedic side, and it's not like full with jokes, but than I was expecting. It was a little bit more comical, and going back with Finn this time around, I like his character, but I really, really like his character, and I'm excited to see where they go in The Last Jedi, because this is so interesting. There's a stormtrooper that doesn't want to be a stormtrooper no more. That he thinks like he's just not like made for that. He wants to do something else, but like it's just very interesting to have this epic story, and all of a sudden, just along that story, there's this stormtrooper that doesn't want to be a stormtrooper no more. He wants to help out people, and he just wants to do his own thing. He wants to escape the First Order, and my God, I was just thinking about that idea of like if someone was creating their own story, that would be really interesting. Like have a stormtrooper like just goes off on this crazy adventure, So I don't know. I really like that about Finn's character and stuff like that. Going on with Snoke, I'm just knocking all the characters out and kind of trying to touch upon little moments in the movie. But Snoke, I mean, we don't really get a lot of him. We just know, he's just some kind of presence with the First Order and stuff like that. And I think in one of the books, it's revealed that he's been here for a really, really long time. But Andy Serkis again, he does a really good job in his voice acting, and I think the motion capture as well. But I don't want to say the CGI is bad. Like the special effects in this, I'm really glad that they kind of didn't go like the prequel route, that they just used all CGI and stuff like that. They used like some actual sets. They did use sorry, excuse me. They did use CGI, but they didn't really like count on it like the prequels. But you know, for the most part, it was really well done. In some instances, I can tell like, you know, okay, that's CGI. Like obviously, there's characters you're gonna tell CGI, but you know, kind of I feel like it wasn't really well polished. And going on to the score from John Williams, it was great, you know, but I feel like there's no really like standout themes like in the original. Maybe it's because even in the prequel trilogy as well, there's some really like standout hits. Maybe because we haven't really seen the Force Awakens a lot, like we've seen the other ones. Sorry, guys. But maybe we need to see him more or something. I don't know, but I just didn't find like his score to be really, you know, engaging, really emotional. Even when Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting at the end, I felt like a really great score should have been there, you know, to really capture that fight. But it wasn't, you know. I like the music they had, you know, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just felt like he could have done way better, and I think there's a story behind that. So I think maybe, you know, John Williams wasn't at his best and stuff like that. But other than that, guys, I don't know what else to say about The Force Awakens. I'm trying to think about anything I can say. Obviously, two scenes I think I want to touch upon. The first scene, when we get introduced to Rey, it's awesome how she doesn't talk or anything, and we just get introduced to her. She's, you know, scavenging for parts. She goes to Unkar Plat or something like that. And you know, she gets a little food, and she's just there, like just the little details about where she lives, about what she's doing, stuff like that. They already paint a story, and I'm a really big fan of that. How she didn't need to talk. There's no exposition or something like that, and you understand Rey just like that, and that I really appreciate that. And obviously, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this and if you watch my other videos, you already know that I talk about a little spoilers and stuff like that. So, but if not, I mean, I do recognize that The Force Awakens is newer. So if you've not seen The Force Awakens yet, I'm gonna spoil something. Hopefully, I didn't spoil it earlier, but so you've been warned. So the death of Han Solo, man, it really got to me this time, and I think it's because I've seen this trilogy, and I just came off the original trilogy, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I kind of teared up. You know, I was like, damn, like and it's especially because he just reaches out to Ben, and he grabs his face, and man, I really thought that scene was well done, especially what they did with the lighting. When I first saw the movie, I already knew automatic, like I saw that, and I was in awe. I was like, this is beautiful that they did this with the lighting, how he's kind of conflicted, and then as soon as the light goes up or something, I don't know what happens on top, it's just red, and I'm like, okay, this is the lighting telling us that this is no going back for Kylo, you know, and obviously, and then I really like too that Chewie just loses it, you know, he just shoots Kylo Ren, just starts shooting all these stormtroopers, and he just blows up everything. He doesn't even tell Rey or Finn, and he just does it, you know, and I really like that. The battle at the end, the space battle, it was really great. I liked it. And even in forgetting the planet where Maz Kanata is, that one was fine too. I just don't think there was like really, like, they were really groundbreaking or something. They did some cool things like cinematography wise with the X-wings and stuff, but I think I like the battles, like, you know, from the original trilogy, even in Revenge of the Sith, a little bit better. That's another thing real quickly before I wrap things up. The cinematography was really well done. A lot of shots were amazing. Like the one shot I'm thinking of right now when Rey's like going on her way back to the little town or whatever. You just see a big old shot, the desert. You can barely see her going like across, and then you just slowly pan to that big old ship. I'm forgetting the name of it right now. I'm blanking. Just like buried. You automatically know like some shit went on here. Like there was a crazy ass battle, and that just looks beautiful, you know. So I'm really big fan of the cinematography in this one. But other than that, guys, hopefully I'm not missing anything really important. I probably am. I always do every time I do these reviews. I always go back like, man, I should have mentioned this. But with that being said, guys, I think I have to give Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Oh, can't even speak right now. All right, guys, sorry about that. I guess I can't speak. I'm so excited for The Last Jedi. But like I was saying, I think I'd have to give Star Wars: The Force Awakens an 8 out of 10, guys. And it seems like I've been giving an 8 recently to Star Wars films. But I really enjoy this movie, guys. I was going to give it a 7.5, but for some reason that it was like too low for me. But I think 8 out of 10 justifies it because I really like this movie. I don't think it's as, you know, it is similar to A New Hope, but it doesn't really bother me as much. I feel like they still introduced us to a whole new story, a whole set of great characters, and they brought Star Wars back to us. So with that being said, I think that justifies my score, you know. But all right, guys, let me know your thoughts on this film in the comment section down below. And how would you guys rank your movies? I'm thinking about doing a ranking video after I see The Last Jedi. Not sure, but let me know how you guys would rank. What's your favorite and stuff like that. And all right, guys, this is the last stop before we see Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and watch out for my review on Friday morning. I don't know. I'm kind of changing my mind. We'll see. Check back online later today or in the morning. For sure, latest is going to be in the morning. So yeah, if you guys want to follow me outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk with 2Ks on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, I'll see you at the movies. Later, guys.